Patty. Today I wanted to share some of my favourite games for my PC. My PC is the main console I used to play games on, but some of the games I mentioned, I think the majority of them do have console versions of them, so not to worry, if you do like any of the games, you're more than welcome to see if they're available. For someone who plays my PC quite a lot, I know a lot of the games that are dominantly for PC or like promoted to be on the PC tend to be more like first-person shooter games, and that's not really my kind of thing. I tend to prefer like cute, chilled out games, so I kind of wanted to make this video for anyone who is trying to discover more cute games and more under the radar cute games especially. The first game is an obvious one, most people probably know it, it is Stardew Valley. I cannot express how much I love this game. At first I got it for the Switch and I wasn't too into it, but then the more I played it and like the more I got into like the characters, the more I got into actually figuring out how to run my farm, I started getting like really invested, and now I will play like a whole season in a day. It is ridiculous, but I can't recommend this game enough for anyone who just wants like a little chill farming simulator. All you have to do is just live in the countryside. If you want to grow crops, you can grow crops. If you want to talk to people, you can talk to people. If you want to mine, you can mine. It just kind of has everything you would want to do. Like, there's never a day that goes by in Stardew Valley that I don't know what to do. Like, there's always something to do, if you know what I mean. And it's just overall really relaxing. Like, the music is great as well, and you just don't feel pressured into having to do anything too hardcore. The second game, which is one of my absolute favourites, is Ooblets. Not many people have heard of this game, but you need to hear about this game, okay? It's unreal. So essentially, you move to this island with these cute little creatures called Ooblets. The best way to describe it is like it's a kind of similar to Pokemon, but a lot, I don't know, a lot cuter, a lot softer. Basically, you move to this island where there are these things called Ooblets. Ooblets are kind of like tiny little guys who you do dance battles with, and if you win the dance battles, you get their little seed that pops out of their butts. It's really weird to describe. But yeah, they give you the little seed, and then you plant it in your garden. And then once the seed has been planted, it takes a couple of days, you have to water them and take care of them. Similar concept to Stardew Valley, you have to like water them every day to make sure they grow, or else they won't. And then once they grow, you have a little buddy that follows you around, and you can collect more Ooblets as you go along. There's achievements for collecting different Ooblets. There are also some rare shiny Ooblets which you'll spot around the town. And you can just travel to different areas. Once you get around to the level where you can build like a little air balloon, you can travel to different areas and discover different Ooblets. And the people in the town just have so much like funny and cute dialogues, it's great. The next game is Luna's Fishing Garden. This is a very new game. I was following the developer on Twitter because I saw it and it was absolutely adorable. The whole concept of the game is you're a little tiny girl that gets stuck in a hurricane, and the next thing she knows, she's on an island with all these little animals. You start off with Luna the dog, or the wolf, sorry Luna if I got that wrong, but essentially you kind of have to help Luna and her friends like regrow the island and like regrow it to like how they remember it. The main basis of the game is you have to like fish, you can do quests for all the animals on different islands, and once you get to the lighthouse you can unlock different areas, and that will unlock different NPCs which you can talk to and do quests for, and the more you go on, the more you will progress, and you have the opportunity to spend the money that you've earned from helping all these NPCs and selling items to put them towards like trees and regrowing different parts of the island. I think it's just really sweet, and like it's a very small, simple and cute game. The next game is pretty popular already, but it's called Slime Rancher. Basically, you play as a girl called Beatrix who lives 1,000 miles away from Earth in the future, and the goal of the game is essentially to become a slime rancher. You can play either like the hard mode where there are enemies, or you can play an easier mode if you just want to like play free range and just collect all the slimes and try and figure the game out. But it's a really interesting game because you just go around collecting little slimes. There are different types of slimes, and I won't spoil too much, but like you can figure out how to make different slimes do different things. You can figure out how different areas that you can buy work with different slimes, and it's just a case of going around the map, figuring out how things work, and then get a reward for it. This is a game that is quite popular already, but I love Planet Zoo. I'm not very good at it, but I just like making cute little enclosures for the animals. If I feel like I want to challenge myself a bit more, I will go off sandbox mode and I will try to do 1,000 things at a time and cater for the animals. But if you don't really want to play the game too seriously, you can do what I do and just play a sandbox mode where you can just focus on building cute little enclosures for animals. There are still factors you have to consider, like whether the animals will do well in a male to female ratio. Like I think the bears, for example, in my enclosure were always fighting and complaining because I didn't make the gender ratio right, or like their enclosure was too small the more bears you add. So there are still things you have to consider, but if you just kind of want a cute game where you can look at some animals and you can make them cute little enclosures, I really recommend Planet Zoo. I do have Planet Coaster as well, and I do think that game is quite fun, but for someone that loves animals and likes going to the zoo, I would recommend Planet Zoo a bit more personally, just because they're all really cute. You can just see a bunch of little friends vibing in the enclosures you made for them. This game is Turnip Boy Commits Tax Evasion. It sounds very chaotic, and that's because it is. Basically, you play as a little turnip boy, little turnip man, and the whole basis of the game is that he hates taxes. Yep. So you have to work for a stinky mayor. The mayor is bad, we don't like the mayor, and you basically have to avoid doing your taxes. You are kind of mean to everyone in the town. Like, there's a part where you rip up someone's drawing that they worked really hard on, so at times I do feel kind of bad playing it, but essentially what you do is you just go around the map, try and figure things out. Like, different areas are unlocked by doing different things. You can receive different items that will unlock different things, and it's kind of just like going along and figuring out how things work. The next game is Townscaper. This game was kind of like wholesome to me because the first time I went around to my boyfriend's house, he showed it to me and I didn't know what to do at first, but it turns out you don't have to do much. All you do is just click and little houses appear. And the more you click, like you can click up on a house and it will grow higher, you can click across and it will grow more houses that way, and you can find little ways to like join houses together and make them into stuff. Like, for example, I won't spoil it too much, but like you can put houses in a certain way and they'll have like a little garden in the middle then. If you join houses in a row, it can make something completely different, and it's just a case of like trying different methods out and seeing what works. You can also change the colours of the houses, so it means you can have a cute little colour coordinated house district if you really wanted to. Again, it's just one of those games that just is really relaxing. Like, if you want to just take 5 or 10 minutes out of your day to just unwind, I would definitely recommend this game because it's just one of those games that's really cute and wholesome. Has little birds and stuff that appear as well the more you build up your town, and yeah, definitely consider getting it because it is really affordable as well. Kind words. I haven't seen many people play this game, but I could not recommend this game enough if you are feeling anxious or you ever feel worried at times. It's a really simple and easy game. The whole concept of it is you just write notes about your worries. It's all completely anonymous, but you write things you're worried about, anything you want to like get out on paper, you can type it up, and they will then send that letter to another random stranger, and that random stranger will write back to you. Sometimes you don't have to write back to people if you don't want to. You can, when you open up the main page, select from a series of letters that you want to reply to. It's always optional, but it is nice just receiving letters from other people being like, hey, don't worry about this, you're doing great, I believe in you. The community on it is absolutely lovely because it is a game of just people trying to support people. Sometimes as well, when you're in your room, you'll have a little letter that like flies around your room and you can pick it up and it'll usually say like a really wholesome thing like, I hope you have a great day, you're really pretty. And when you do reply to letters, you can get stickers, and these stickers then transfer to stuff that you can decorate your room with. And I think my favourite thing about the game is when you do get a new letter from someone, the little deer, I think her name is Anna, I could be wrong, but the little deer mascot pokes its head through the window with a little letter to give you your letter. I think it's just a really cute game. Coming up next is Fugs. Fugs has a kind of new game. It is a 2-person game, but I think you can play online cooperative if you don't have anyone to play it with. It is one of the silliest games, or the silliest co-op games I have ever heard of. the basis of it is you are a big long snake dog with 2 heads, and each person gets to control a head, and you kind of just go through the map together solving puzzles. You can collect little hats, and you just kind of figure it out together. I think it can be a little bit challenging at times, but if it's a game that's like, if you want a game that's more cute but you also want to focus and solve puzzles at the same time, I really recommend it because it's so cute and silly. The last chill game I would recommend is Night in the Woods. It is kind of like a story-based game where you play as a cat called May, who has just moved back from university. She moves back into her hometown. She thinks it's boring, but there is a lot of weird stuff that happens in the town that you have to investigate. It is very story-based, but there are like parts in the game where you can go out and you can play little mini games and you can talk to all the different characters and figure out the story of the town. I just think it's a really interesting game because you kind of figure things out as you go along and you start to learn more about the characters and more about the town, and it just becomes completely different from May's perspective at the very start of the game. So that's the end of today's video. I really hope you guys enjoyed, and I really hope you go and support these game developers who've worked really hard on their games. I did kind of want to make this video because I think some of the games I've mentioned are from smaller developers, and I think they really deserve the hype because not many people have played these games yet or know about them yet. So I want to get them out there. I want to make sure other people enjoy the games that I enjoy too. Yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed it. I really hope you play these games and you enjoy them. Let me know in the comments if you have any other recommendations of cute chill games, and I'll definitely give them a go. But yeah, thanks for watching and I'll see you in the next video. Bye guys!